It's time to admit, is it, that the Rwanda plan is working. The legislation to revive the UK's Rwanda policy became law on Thursday last week, but despite a single flight yet to take off, the scheme seems to be having a positive impact. It's fashionable within Westminster to criticise the Rwanda plan, following suit the likes of Governmen't, Robert Jenrick, and much of Reform. Hey, you know what, myself at times as well. But Ireland's government are no different. They are pledging emergency legislation to send asylum seekers that cross into their country from Northern Ireland back to us here in the UK. Now, in a rather surprising and appealing turn of events, the British government has effectively told Ireland's government to do one, saying that the UK will not take back asylum seekers, illegal immigrants, from Ireland until France takes back Channel migrants. I'm joined now by the leader of Reform, Richard Tice. Richard, thank you very much. Look, very critical of the Rwanda plan, which I understand. However, we started seeing clips of illegal immigrants saying they wish they'd never come here because of Rwanda.
Oh, dream on.
And the Irish, well, they've seen it. And the Irish saying that they're seeing floods of people who don't want to be sent to Rwanda. It's working.
No, it's not. Absolute nonsense. Patrick, over 7,000 illegal migrants have crossed the Channel this year. Sadly, 15 or so have lost their lives doing so, in the knowledge that, in theory, they're going to be arrested, detained and deported to Rwanda. So, no, it's not a deterrent. And this nonsense with the Republic, there's no evidence, actually, of the numbers that the Republic are claiming. But there is a huge irony. I mean, Chris Heaton-Harris jumping around as the Northern Ireland Secretary, saying that the deterrent's already working. I mean, the man's having a laugh. He must think we're all stupid, for heaven's sake. But here's the point. You're right. The irony of an EU nation claiming that actually freedom of movement in the island of Ireland, all of a sudden, that's been there for 100 years, that's now not allowed. It's very simple. If they want to send those back to the UK, then we'll send 120,000 back to France. I wonder how Macron's going to adopt to that. The whole thing, these EU nations, they need to stop being so selfish and actually focus on what works.
They are now looking, Richard, at replicating a third-party country like we're doing, which really does imply that they think that the Rwanda plan is going to work.
Absolute nonsense. Look,
there's
no way France is going to take 120,000 back from us, right? The only way this stops is you have to pick people up out of the boats and take them back to France, which we're legally entitled to do. No government minister has proved me wrong on this. We know it works. Belgium did it. It stopped the boats from Belgium.
Well, the government is saying that actually we don't have international waters, so we can't do it. So it would always involve us. It would always involve us having to go into French waters.
Wrong.
And that's different to what the Australians did.
No, it's not. I've read the international treaties, as have my lawyers. We know we're right on this. But the thing about being a leader is you take your advice and then you make a decision. The government lawyers are wet, woke, lefty lawyers. Of course they're going to give the advice saying it's against the law. No, it's not. It's actually how you read the law, how you interpret the law, and have the courage of your convictions. This will not stop. This is not a deterrent. We all know that from the point I've just said. 7,000 have come here this year.
With respect, it's bad for you if Rwanda works, isn't it?
It's not going to work. We know it's not working.
But it is bad for you if it works.
It's already not working.
Right, but if it does work and planes take off and the numbers reduce, it's awful for Reform UK.
It's the end of April and the numbers are up about 24, 25% this year. We know it's not working. It's a joke. One of two things will happen, right? If the flights take off, the boats will keep coming, right? Or the lefty lawyers will stop the flights taking off. Either way, it's a catastrophe for this ludicrous policy that the government has hung all of its illegal immigration policy on. And then they are absolutely flawed. And then the only solution is what we put forward. And our solution is the kind, compassionate one. It stops people dying.
OK, and one thing that I think is good to come out of this now, right, is that the people of Ireland, I feel very sorry for the actual people of Ireland, OK? I feel very sorry for them because they've been led, I think, by donkeys, and they are now finding out what, mass illegal immigration means, rapid population growth, rapid demographic change. But if people are leaving the UK, flooding across the border into...
I'll tell you what it means. It means that Ireland is even more generous than we are.
Well, they are, but they are because they let them work. They are because they let them work.
I'm sorry for. I'm sorry for the British citizens, because it's us that are paying the bills, it's us that are suffering in our communities, it's our hotels that have been closed, it's our jobs that have been destroyed and smashed.
Why don't we ferry them? Why don't we ferry them over to
illegal...
Northern Ireland and buy a few hotels up on the border with the Republic and shove them all in that and wave them over?
No, what we should do is actually return them to France and stop the boats coming over. Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom, and but the job of the government is to defend our own borders. You know, Ireland's got its own issues. Let Ireland deal with its own issues. The truth is, this whole charade, this whole fiasco that is killing people only stops when leaders of the United Kingdom and EU nations pick people up out of the boats and take them back to where the shores that they left, whether that's France or whether it's North Africa. That's what leadership is about, and the gutless leaders of all these nations who daren't do this, they are literally responsible for people dying. I'm sick of it. I've had enough.
Ursula von der Leyen, who we played a clip of it earlier on in the show, has done a huge amount of discussing how diversity and multiculturalism is Europe's greatest strength. Her party is now genuinely considering a third-party removal scheme. I mean, that is, whether or not you think those schemes will work, that is embarrassing for the European Union.
Oh, it is. I mean, you make it sound like Pickford's, you know, sort of. But the truth is, it's a sign of how everybody has completely lost control of illegal migration across nations. Freedom of movement is a disaster. It's one of the main reasons we left the European Union, and they've got to show some leadership. Otherwise, this carries on.
But the thing today with Christys and Harris, I genuinely thought was good, right? Because the Irish came out with the begging bowl. The Irish reported just to the ECHR over our prosecution or lack of prosecution of historic veterans, despite the fact that we gave the IRA letters of comfort.
They didn't come out with a begging bowl. They came out with an instruction. We're going to legislate and you'll take them back.
Yeah,
that's how these EU nations treat us.
But that's good, though. We've said no to that.
You wait. Really? Do you seriously think this government is going to stand up to the Republic of Ireland and then force them give over? Give them the track record we've seen.
We're not going to cave into the Republic of Ireland, surely.
We caved in over the whole Brexit negotiations to the Republic of Ireland and to the people in Brussels. Of course we'll cave in. They just haven't got it in them. No gumption, no guts.
All right, Richard, thank you very much. Well, there's no need to apologise. It's your views. As ever, look, Richard, thank you very much. Richard Tice there, who is the leader of Reform UK.